Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Are we actually live? There we are live. Hello. How are you doing today?
Welcome back.
Welcome.
I've been waiting for this.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi to the earliest, Michael. Hi to the earliest orange. Dale, Dallas, Cade. Thank you for the raid. Hi, Siska. Hi, Marty. Hello, friendos. It is I, Maxi. Welcome to the pre-show. I am your navigator for today. I misspelled the word stream on my document. Could you imagine? Me misspelling things? Yo, hi, Prism. Hi, Fade Leave. Hello, hello, hello.
I've been waiting for this.
Welcome.
Hi guys, what's up?
Oh my god, everyone is here? Question mark? Hello, hello. In case that you're unfamiliar with these streams, you have found this VOD somewhere along the trenches of YouTube. Hello. This is a creative hour stream, a 3-hour stream segment where I work on my creative projects. I am an author, game designer, artist, creative person of all walks of life, and currently making a game. A tabletop role-playing game, as a matter of fact, Zetamon! Feels so good to be able to just say it out loud. A creature collecting and battling game that you can play entirely by yourself using your imagination, some dice, and of course the rule book. Hello, Peter.
Welcome back.
Are they actually adding a K-Truck to GT7, Dale? Am I finally gonna pick up GT7? How much is GT7 on the PS5? GT7 buy. Ugh! Still $70. Ugh! Games are pricey. Guys, don't buy games at full price, by the way. Don't buy AAA games at full price, by the way. Don't do that. Tell your mama I told you that. Anyways, how y'all doing? I taught you that trick, okay? Never buy games at full price. Never buy, like, a Ubisoft game at full price. Like, literally, like, I mean, maybe just don't buy Ubisoft games at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nonetheless, the song's about to restart. I'm gonna give it the there's the little hit right there. Let me just take a sip of my coffee, and it's 11 a.m. in sunny California. We're diving right in. All right, and with that, I can close Bluski. I have stuff to show you, but anyways, we'll be jumping in at the count of 3, 2, 1. Boop. Hello, everyone. It's me, Maxi, your navigator over here in the incredible world of making your own game. In case you don't know, my pronouns are they, them. They're also in the pinned comment. If you are joining us for the first time, please do read the rules in the description or perish. So I had a pretty interesting weekend. I spent it mostly looking after my nephew, but that's okay. I said this on Peter says, for a moment I thought a water hose was a new monster. No, we'll be working on moves today. We'll be working on moves today, I think. I know the thumbnail says we're gonna make little guys. It's not a lie. Because what's a little guy if not the moves that they do, by the way? I'm really happy with this thumbnail. This little guy came out really good. I think this is gonna be the visual style for the art in the game. I think I'm gonna go for the monochromatic Game Boy dot matrix style, I think. Thank you! Kate says I love the little guy in the thumbnail. Thank you. That's Goblino. I guess Goblino now is canon now, huh? Goblino's just canon now. He probably needs like a couple more details more than just nothing at all. I guess he does have a cute little tail. He looks like he's mid animation, like he does like the Marge Simpson dance, you know? Kind of looks like he's like about to break into that. And you're right, his 5 stats are in fact attack, defend, offend, eat rock, and evil. Peter says, it seems like his design is Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I see what you're doing, Peter. So yeah, we'll be working today on moves. In case you did not catch it, the stream schedule for this week got posted earlier today. You're already on Tuesday, which last time I checked is today. We'll be doing some Zetamon designing for 3 hours. We might do 2.5 hours and then do dailies. Depends on how I feel. Tomorrow, on Wednesday at 4 p.m. my time, which is essentially 5 hours from now, tomorrow, so 29 hours from now, I'll be playing Chronomia Trigger with my good friend Nomia. We'll be playing through Chrono Trigger. We're continuing our campaign. We are in the prehistoric era right now. It's delightful. And on the 15th, on Thursday, no co-op stream this week because there's a greater, larger co-op happening. And it's my good friend Cade in chat. Cade is doing a fundraiser for their top surgery. And I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there the entire stream, hopefully. Yeah, we're gonna be there raising money for Cade's top surgery fund. Let's freaking go! There we go. Yeah. Everyone get on your feet. That's right. I'm really excited. I might bring in some additional stream goals, perhaps rewards for people who donate. We're talking about having whoever donates the most gets a fake Labubu, a Lafufu, as I believe that's what the kids call them, and more. Perhaps early access to the Zetamon Combat Beta. We'll see. Speaking of the Combat Beta for Zetamon, my goal. Ronnie says, 5 buckos and I punch you real nice. You know what? If you donate $5 to Kate's stream, you can punch me in the face in real life. So please do consider. I'm gonna look like one of those anime characters with all like the balls on my face from how hard people have been hitting me. But please do stay tuned for Kate's upcoming stream on Thursday. Please check out my socials for more information on that. Now, I know everyone here is excited for Zetamon as well, so I want to give you the Zetamon news already. My mission, my goal. Maxi, you're saying that a goal is bigger than a mission? Shut up, okay? My mission this month is to get a combat beta version of the game out by the end of the month. It's not going to involve the full creature creation. In fact, we're going to create some sample Zetamon probably next week. We'll make some sample Zetamon next week. I will iron out the rules and some starting moves. And I'll release a document outlining all that stuff, and people will be able to try out the combat system while we work on other stuffs. Yo, hell yeah, Dallas. Hell yeah. Oh my god, I'm so happy. We're all gonna show up to Kate's streams. I'm so excited. In part because it's for a good goal, and it's for one of my closest, dearest friends. But I also want to get to hang out with all my butts, so I'm also happy for that. 12 seems like a good number of samples. 12 Zetamon? Perhaps. Or you mean for moves? 2 options for each family? Oh, move! Oh, no. No, you meant yeah, we'll see once we get we'll see once we get to the samples. We'll get there. We'll figure that out when we get there. Is there anything else going on in my life? Moobs? Is there anything else going on in my life? I don't think so. I've been meaning to make a bunch of more art. There was that meme going around of like the artist starter pack, and I want to do that, but I haven't had the time. Other than that, is there anything else? I don't think so. I think we can just jump in. So welcome to the Zetamon update. Maxi, Nanigaski. Maxi, what have you been working on lately, Maxi? That's right, you can't escape that Love Life song even on the stream. Chocominto. So what have I been working on? So I want to make this very clear. We're not going to talk about this document. I have a document in front of me. Slaps document, like I've got the JFK files right here. I am not going to. Yeah, let's freaking go! Let's freaking go! Cade has had Gnarly stuck in his head. Let's freaking go. It's a love life thing. It is in fact a love life thing. Thank you. Mina. So in order to create the creature creation system, do you all like it? Sorry, Kate. We had an argument on Nomia's stream. Kitty and I very much enjoyed Gnarly. Chippy did not like it. Nomia hated it. So as you can imagine, we had a lovely stream that day because it was just us fighting about it. I like Gnarly. I just think it's fun and dumb. So you know, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with it being stupid and dumb. Yeah, hi werewolf, bye werewolf. So we're so balanced. It is, yeah. So I finally put my nose to the grindstone. Don't know why that's the thing people say, by the way. I put my nose to the grindstone. No, Kate says, I think the girlies are hot. They are very much attractive. They are very attractive young women in that music video. Gnarly. I wish I had like what, you know what I need? We're going on a side tangent, by the way, because this is a sound I'm gonna add to the stream anyway. YouTube. I need the Pokemon Academy song, Pokemon Stadium to Academy music, or else Academy theme. Let's go. Okay. I need. No. I don't want the battle theme. I want the regular theme. Because I feel like this is a perfect song for when I'm explaining something. There we go. Perfect! Alright. What is Gnarly? Gnarly happens to be the latest single by the international K-pop band Cat's Eye. That is spelled K-A-T-S-E-I-E. Cat's Eye is comprised of a bunch of women from various nationalities. Were part of a game show to create a new K-pop group, and there are the girls who won. And they recently released a. Is this too loud? This is too loud, isn't it? It's too loud in my headphones. There we go. Freaking love the song. Anyways, yeah, it's by them. Anyways, Maxi, was that segue worth it, Maxi? I don't know. It felt right at the time. Anyways, the real music comes back, by the way. Cade, if you would like a recommendation for Gnarly, I strongly suggest you listen to Touch. Touch. Because I thought about you way too much. Yeah, no. There's a lot of yeah, it's a wonderful group. Very lots of diversity in there. I love it. Hi Star, welcome in. Wikipedia has them listed as a California IR group. I don't know what IR stands for. Nose to the grindstone implies that you should sharpen your nose. It's true. Me when I'm drawn by the people who animated Escaflowne. I meant to type girl. Oh. Anyways, back to the stream. So, welcome to talking about Zetamon. Do not read this article, by the way. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Do not even bother reading this right now. Don't even bother reading it. So I created a document outlining and getting feedback on every single different body type and sample body shape that is going to be in the game. Do not read it. It's not worth you reading because I sent it to feedback to my friends. But Ronnie says, but I read it. I I sent the document. I made a document outlining all of the starting body types. So when you generate a Zetamon, you roll on a D100 table. Also, by the way, hi Kendra. Hello, welcome in, boy. Welcome in, boy. Where's the sound? Play the sound.
Hey, boy.
So you roll on a D100 table. There's 12 zodiac signs, so there is 8 entries for each zodiac sign and 4 additional ones. We have to figure those out. I also wanted to get feedback from some close friends regarding the body shapes and the wording on their descriptions, etc., 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 etc. I wanted their feedback, so I wrote a document that is, if I remember correctly, it is 3,200 words, by the way. 3,200 words. I wrote all of that yesterday. Why? Because I have autism. I wanted to get it done. And I wanted to make sure that it was complete. And I want to say big thank yous to the friends who have had the time. I know I did kind of just like dump it on people, but who took the time to actually read it. Big shout out to Siska and Ronnie. Your feedback has been incredible. Thank you. I was reading Siska's feedback today. A little bit of behind the scenes. I was actually not feeling well at all this morning. I ended up sleeping in a little bit. I was feeling very, very tired. But I'm back. I'm on it. I'm working. And I'm excited to get some work done today. Gravity range, how dare you, Dallas? I love having so many other game designer people in my life because I get to see them all have game designer brain. Because like, okay, this is gonna be a little bit weird to explain, but when you get into design in the game design mindset, you basically kind of lose your mind. Because for instance, I was thinking about moves, and I was explaining the moves to Kitty, and then Kitty goes, "Well, why don't you just do X?" And I sat there like, "Oh yeah, I could just do that, huh? I could just do X instead of Y." And it turns out, it helps to have other people in your life who kind of who pulled you out of the game design brain where you walk yourself into corners. Siska says, well, since this is mostly based off of real-life animals, preferably between 9.75 and 9.91 m divided by s squared. That's right, I don't know math. And I'll get to you in a second, Fate Leaf. I do want to say, I'm working behind the scenes. There's a lot of documents here, by the way. In case you're wondering, the document is getting out of hand, by the way. Can you tell me, like, how much is in... I want to know how much is in the entire document, but I guess it won't tell me. Anyway, so you can tell we have a lot of documents that we have made over the course of this design game. Drawing a little goofy goober. There you go. Hi, Jesta. Hello. Gotta love a goofy goober. I specifically wanted Siska's feedback because Siska is a huge animal nerd, and I knew Siska would come at me with some very insightful ideas, and I very much appreciated it. Man, I love my friends. My friends are all so creative and smart. Anyway, so the plan for today, as I have outlined, we're gonna work on moves today. First and foremost, we kind of have to decide on a range of how many moves we need to do. I'm gonna give you a little secret towards preventing your game from having stupid, absurd. Forgive me for using the word stupid. Absurd bloat. Before you start designing things, and I know as game designers we love designing things, but before you start designing things, you first just stop and ask yourself, how many things do I have to make? Giving yourself like a quantifiable goal, very helpful, by the way. Not just in game design, but in real life, If you want to work on something, give yourself a tangible goal that you can work on. A thing that will make you feel like you're actually making progress. As opposed to just, I want to make X thing happen. You should break it into smaller tasks. So, let me walk you through what a move looks like in Zetamon, by the way. I talked about this before, but I struggled a lot to figure out exactly how I wanted them to look. So, I wanted them to be readable, but I also wanted them to not be a pain in the ass to copy into a character sheet. I might have needed this advice. Well, you have it now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I will be 100% honest and admit that I wanted the moves to be easy to understand, easy to parse, easy to copy into your own notebook or into the character sheet, because I hate when a game is like, yeah, you're gonna have to write like 15 paragraphs. And then I realized that the most successful tabletop role-playing game of all time is, unfortunately, Dungeons and Dragons, which has like spell blocks that are nonsense. So I realized, you know what? I think it's actually a little bit harder to mess it up than I think it is. I gave myself a little pat on the back and I thought, you know what? Go with the middle ground, Maxi. And here we have the attack, the move, tables, entry, I don't know. Nonetheless, a move has a name. It has tags. The tags are important for two reasons. The tags are affected by other mechanisms. You know what? Let's actually start the timer. In case you don't know, on the stream, we use a timer to keep ourselves from working a lot without getting up and stretching and taking breaks. So we're gonna take a 25. I'm actually make it a 3-minute break. There we go. We're gonna do a 25 minutes work cycle and then a 3-minute break afterwards. I found a way to have it displayed literally like right here next to me. This is Pomotroid. It is a open source Pomodoro timer. I believe it's on GitHub. And I literally just have the window overlaid on my document. I like him. He's cute. If you're familiar with the stream, I have done a lot of I've done a lot of Pomodoro timers in the past. Kate says, it's been so long since I've been on stream. Kate, don't feel bad. I literally added that last week, so don't feel bad. I've gone through a lot of Pomo timers. Dale says F in chat for Pomo Farm. I like Pomo Farm. It's just like, at the end of the day, it ends up being like more of a distraction, you know? Like, it ends up being more of a distraction than anything else. And like, I understand that some people like need the incentive to track their cycles and just to say, I'm gonna take a break. I'm a little bit past that. I'm not saying that I'm all that in a bag of chips, but like, definitely I don't feel like I need Dale says and weirdlets. I could not get into weirdlets. Weirdlets was too much of a distraction for me. And again, like, I literally just want a timer that goes, hey, listen, hey, stop working. And Pomotroid does it for me. It also has a lot of themes you can customize. You can even make your own custom theme. But that is really neither here nor there. 25 minutes on the clock, get set, go. Welcome to the moves of Zetamon. Every Zetamon has 4 moves that they have access to. Kate says the sounds in weirdlets were too nauseating. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, Dallas is a literal Tamagotchi. You know what? No, I changed my mind. I was going to say I would love a Tamagotchi Pomodoro timer, but actually no, because it would still be too many distractions. Literally, all we did in Pomo Farm was just gather crops and sell them and plant seeds. And when you have upgraded everything, that is literally like 3 seconds, and that was still too much of a distraction for me. Nonetheless, the moves in Zetamon. Kendra says, I just got a desk cube timer. I too also had... Fun fact, you know what? Let's go grab it. Maxi, you're being distracted. I'm chatting with my friends, excuse you. I have fan art under the folder title fan art, or things people have made for me. I have this image right here. You activated my trap card, Kendra. This here, Kendra, my lovely friend in chat. I know I spend a lot of time making fun of Kendra, pointing and laughing, but Kendra actually made a little crochet of Gabby the Gobbo. She, her, by the way. Gabby the Gobbo from Iron Valley. Gabby the Gobbo appears in the art for Iron Valley, and there next to her is my time cube. My time cube. Which, by the way, self-call it, by the way. Apparently it's like when I went to buy it, it was like great for people with autism, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It has 4 and more corners. Okay, Dallas, listen now. And the way that the time cube works is that you flip it so the side with the time that you want is on the top, and then it immediately starts the timer. My only issue with mine is that after using it for like a year, it started to like, I know this sounds crazy, but it started getting slow, because I would be like, shouldn't it be a break already? And then I would look at it and it would be like only 10 minutes have passed, and I'm like, damn it, time cube. Anyways, shoutouts to Kendra, by the way. Kendra made this with their hands. Oh, it's Gabby the Gobbo. It came out so cute too. Holy crap. Anyways. Wow. Something here looks familiar. Anyways. So, the moves in Zetamon have a name. What if Gabby the Gobbo appeared in Zetamon as a cameo? Could you imagine? Like an Iron Valley based mon? Well, the thing is that we already created weirdo creatures in Iron Valley, so we could just import them into Zetamon. But nonetheless, they have tags. What is the purpose of the tags? Some mechanisms in the game will interact with tags. For instance, there is a status effect called Berserk, where your Zetamon can only use attack moves. I know. Siska put a DSM reference in her notes for me. Siska, I read all of your notes. Siska was like, Maxi, hey Maxi, I wrote a bunch of notes, some of which you will never read, and then I'm like, why would I ask for notes and not read it? What do you think I am, stupid?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, the tag box serves an additional purpose, and that is that your Zetamon can only learn moves for which they have the corresponding tags. Thankfully, all Zetamons, except for one, by the way, except for the Spirit / Wraith Zetamon type, everyone except those losers will have the body tag, which means everyone has access to body type moves. Additional to that, moves also have they will also have one of the affinities. By the way, affinities is what we're calling elements in this game. For instance, the water hose Zetamon move is a sense move, so you roll sense. It is aqua type and it is an attack, as opposed to Young Along, which is a support move. Siska says, granted, every time I do a lore write-up for D&D, there's like one person who reads all of them, and they're a freak. Aquas type? Freaking Dale's onto me. Or Michael. Michael Cain says, I feel like there's some shade being thrown. I don't think so. Kendra says, y'all will keep me company while I try to serve for this book event. Kendra, do we have an outfit pick? How are you serving? Oh, unless what are you a waiter today? Kendra, you work for a scientific publishing company. Like I feel like you could do better than a waiter. Please stop throwing the shade I needed for the summer. I love that. Now, I want to clarify one thing, by the way. I might end up changing the way that tackle works, but we'll get there. Originally, I talked to Kitty, and we were figuring out how to do... I'm zooming in for this, by the way. We were trying to figure out how to do... how to sort Zetamon's ability to learn moves. And originally, I was thinking that you can learn a move as long as you have the stat for it and the element for it. But I realized after sleeping on that particular bit for a little bit of time that would make learning like seeing what moves you can learn very hard, and it also removes your ability to have coverage. So instead, I figured, you know what, make it more general. So here's the rules, by the way, in case you're wondering. Maxi, when I create Goblino, the Zetamon, how will I know what moves Goblino can use? Goblino, on its little Zetamon sheet, is going to have a list of tags. You will be able to learn any move that matches the main tag for that. The main tag is always the first tag of the move. Now, Maxi, then what is the point of me knowing that Water Hose is an Aqua attack if anyone, regardless of being Aqua, can learn Water Hose? And here's the dealio. I think coverage is very important in a game with type matchups. So I would very much like to give everyone access to everything. But here is the dealio, okay? Here's the dealio. If your Zetamon is using a move that does not match their affinity, they don't get the bonus damage unless they energize the move. Energize will move. I'm going to make Energize a like player ability as opposed to a move ability, where you can make a Zetamon whose move does not match their affinity deal extra damage, deal the affinity damage. That is the way we're gonna do it. I feel like that works. That way you can give yourself some coverage. And you can still use those moves, but you won't deal the super crazy extra damage unless you spend energy to do so. Maxi, how does energy work in the game, Maxi? Energy is a resource that you generate at the start of every single turn. The first player doesn't get any. The second player gets 1 energy, and from there on, they generate 1 energy every turn. Energy is used to allow you, the player, to move your Zetamon from one location to another and activate special effects. And it is essentially a resource that you want to, keep an eye on. Your ability to master the use of energy is going to be key to the tactical mastery of the game. It also allows for a little bit of flexibility. And I think flexibility in a tactics game is always good. So for instance, let's say that I'm playing as Goblino. I'm playing as Goblino, right? And I have decided to teach Goblino Water Hose. We're assuming, by the way, that Goblino knows how to use ranged attacks. We're just going to assume that Goblino knows how to do that. So Goblino can in fact use Water Hose. But because Goblino, and I'm envisioning Goblino is not Aqua type, since Goblino does not have the Aqua affinity, it cannot deal the extra affinity damage from the opponent being weak to Aqua unless I spend energy to energize that move. That's it. Do we want to make the energy curve +1 a turn to avoid the 1 cost problem? I am strongly considering having like a curve, but at the same time, I mean I was considering it. It's basically in the back of my mind. On one hand, I'm like, would it be too crazy? But at the same time, I feel like it would prevent. By the way, I'm grabbing my little the extended grabby hand. By the way, and I'm grabbing Fade Leaf out of the crowd, and I'm pulling Fade Leaf to the main stage. Fade Leaf actually brought up on the Discord about stalling mechanics, and I think Fade Leaf made a really good point. I really appreciate Fade Leaf bringing that up. Thank you, by the way, for that. I think perhaps having energy scale over the course of the battle might prevent things such as stalling by literally allowing for a higher degree of damage and flexibility the longer the fight goes on. I definitely believe that much like in competitive Pokemon battles, if you get to like turn 10 in a Zetamon fight, it's definitely over. Because by turn 10, you have what, like 10? You would have like a minimum of like 8, perhaps 9 energy that you can spend. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So perhaps we can do something like that. Perhaps we could make it so that for every energy that you give to your Zetamon, that move deals the critical damage 1 additional time. Perhaps that's one way to make sure that fights are, lightning fast. Nonetheless, so moves have tags. the game uses these tags as a way of like, modify mechanics and gameplay mechanisms. Now your move has a series of values. How many targets does your move attack? It can be 1 target, 2 targets, literally everyone in the zone, everyone in the entire range. As for range, most moves will be melee moves, and range moves have the added benefit that they can attack someone outside of the zone that you're in. I should probably show you what I mean when I say zones. How fast can I show you the way the map works in this game? Let me go find my notes, by the way. How fast can I show you what maps look like in this game? How would I go about doing that? You know what? Let me go grab the online version of MS Paint. And I'll show you what literally what the arena looks like in this game, okay? Because I realized that I've been talking about movement and none of y'all know what I mean by that. So, the game takes place in a rectangular arena. This shape is an abstraction of whatever any kind of combat might look like. I am allowing room for perhaps having the fiction dictate whether some zones have like danger in them or maybe like blocking line of sight. I'm considering that. But this is essentially just, an abstraction of what, an abstraction of what... Wait, I realize I can probably just do this easier here, actually. What am I doing? I can just make a drawing. I've actually been having a lot of fun making drawings on here. There you go. Okay, so... the arena is broken into the following shapes, okay? It is a big rectangle. Can I afford to do this? Let's just do it this way. Do you have... You do... Oh, perfect. The arena is broken into zones. And Zetamon within the same zone can only use melee attacks to hit one another. I could just do lines, actually, now that I think about it. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Oh, wow, this really only took 2 seconds to make, huh? I will come up with the names for these zones later. But at the beginning of battle, can I put up a giant Z in the center, by the way? I feel like putting the C is really important for me. So if you don't mind me putting the Z in there, for Zetamon. There we go. We're gonna put you like, there you go. Perfect. So, at the beginning of a fight in Zetamon, you choose where to place all of your Zetamon, but you must place at least one of them in the center area. We're gonna call it the ring for now. The squared circle, perhaps. The squared circle is surrounded by 4 zones. We're gonna call them the sidelines. And there is 2 additional zones at either end called the back row. As you can no doubt surmise, range attacks can only hit zones that are adjacent to one another. So if I'm in the squared circle and I want to hit the back row, I need a move that has 1, 2, 3 range at least. And that means that if you have a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, you can essentially hit anyone from anywhere on the map. 4 range is the rarest range of them all. Moves that allow you to move between zones. Now, the particular arrangement of these zones, I've actually thought about this a lot. And this is to force the player to make hard choices and also to think about one of my favorite parts about tactics, the core of tactics, the movement of units on the battlefield. I think, and it makes sense because Pokemon is literally experiencing with this right now. Peter says, for some reason I thought some of the zones would be enemy player only. So there is, imagine that there is a player starting zone and the enemy starting zone. Let's say for instance, the left side is the player side. I can place my Zetamon in the squared circle, my side of the sideline and my back row. But once the fight starts, you can go anywhere. Once it starts, you can go anywhere. Once you start, you can go anywhere. Now, Peter, as a matter of fact, I originally thought of having the battle system be similar to something like Final Fantasy, like the old Final Fantasies, where you have like a front row and a back row. After that is real estate. you got it. It's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I realized, like, I feel like an element of combat in Pokemon that is like maybe abstracted too much is there's no movement at all. Everyone is always just standing in front of one another, and to me, like, that is a missed opportunity to have the fun of movement, the fun of blocking. There is going to be rules for moving through a zone that has an enemy in it. As a matter of fact, one of the ongoing rules. This reminds me of Beastie Ball. I should play Beastie Ball. One of the specific rules is that you cannot move through a zone if there's a foe in it that is larger than you. That is a specific little bit right there. Maxi, why is that there? Maxi, I thought you were looking out for the little guys, Maxi. And that's there because Zetamon move based on their size. So tiny Zetamon move first, then small, then medium, then large, then huge. Ronnie says, I wish you could lend games on Steam. No, it's fine. I don't mind getting it. Again, I'm doing a lot of research. In fact, I keep waiting for the latest Dragon Quest Monsters game to go on sale. And I'm like, I keep looking. The last time it went on sale was, and you know I've been looking at this page a lot, it was in March of this year. And I'm like, come on, go on sale so I can try you out. Everyone in that game looks hot, especially the slime. Anyways, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Maxi, the pause makes it worse, Maxi. It's fine, don't worry about it. Anyways, so I feel like for this to be a successful tactics game, there has to be an element of movement in there. There has to be a blocking and positioning. And I feel like this is the middle ground. Originally, there was a lot more zones, by the way, but I feel like this is the perfect middle ground. It also, let's be entirely honest, I am a nerd. Growing up, I was a wrestling nerd. Not wrestling as in like Greco-Roman wrestling. I mean like fake wrestling. I mean like WWE. I mean like, AEW. I mean like, grown-ass men, sweaty grown-ass men grappling each other, Why am I gay? Anyways.
Dude, that's gay.
And if you look at this is essentially what a wrestling arena looks like, right? There is the ring, the area around the ring, and the area where the spectators are watching. And I'm like, this to me just makes sense. Oh my God! Dale, you. Let's get down to business. Thank you, Dale. I love you, Dale. I love you, Dale. There was in fact a luchador who came in and started. His opening theme was Down to Business by DJ Tiesto, and it destroyed me and Plaxworth and Kitty. We could not live with ourselves. Hi, Solar! Solar says, so now we can herd the enemy Zetamon into the spectator stands, yay. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, you can have your very own Goblino reaches under the ring and pulls out a chair. Peter says, I think it's a good idea. Peter says, I was surprised that the main ring was not separated. No, absolutely not. I feel like this is required so that melee Zetamon are not screwed from the beginning. And to me, like, I feel like that makes sense. Like, if you have Zetamon that are essentially like brawlers in something like a MOBA, you want them to be where the action is happening right away. And here comes Goblino with the steel chair. I feel like the main ring will allow for more freedom of movement. Yeah, like, I feel like, this reminds me a lot of like battle royales. Like, this is dropping in hot, right? And I will say the rules do require you to start with have one Zetamon at least in the center. So, if you have a lot of like perhaps like ranged boyos, you're still gonna have to figure out someone to put in the center. That rule, I may move that rule away, I don't know, but I feel like to me it makes sense. Like, after all, again, diegetically, within the setting of Zetamon, you have agreed to essentially a duel, a sparring match with either Wild Zetamon or a Zetamon trainer. And to me, it would seem in bad faith for you to be like, yeah, let's battle, and then all of your Zetamon are in the back row. To me, that seems in bad faith and in bad taste, so clearly, you gotta put one of your Zetamon in the squared ring. Maxi, are you gonna call it the squared ring? It kind of is becoming that. The squared circle, my favorite wrestling term. So, moves have a range. M is just for melee. Literally, it is other Zetamon in the same area as you. oh my god. Siska, Wolfie, I'm so sorry. I forgot to open Mix It Up. That's why the command for lurk is not working. Oh my god. I'm the worst streamer there's ever been. Step into the ring. That's right. There you go. So instead of writing melee, just put M. M is for any Zetamon in the same area, in the same zone as you. That is melee range. The roll is what dice roll you do when attacking. All Zetamon will have an attack dice value that usually scales up as they undergo Zetamorphosis, aka evolve. Check is what stat the enemy, which stat you're attacking on the enemy side. Maxi, what is the importance of differentiating this? This is to get us away from this is essentially the physical special split that happened in Pokemon Generation 4. This is because having physical defense and range defense means that, you know, there's more room to make Zetamon interesting, and it also allows for kind of a rock paper scissors kind of approach. For instance, large Zetamon will have more HP. I have the mechanics down. If you're larger, you have more HP, but you have a lower evasion value. You're a bigger target to hit with ranged attacks. Likewise, little guys have less HP and higher evasion, and they move first at the beginning of combat, but they're easier to hit in melee because they're so little and frail. So again, there's a lot of balancing in there. And affinity, of course, as it appears in this later move, affinity is what elemental type the damage the attack does. If the affinity of the move matches the enemy's weakness, you deal the additional damage. It is usually 20 additional damage, which in the case of something like Tackle is good. Maxi, why not just have the moves deal double damage? I think double damage is too much. I think double damage is just way too much additional damage. I'm sorry. That's why Pokemon becomes a lot of, like, you know, like it. If I did double damage, by the way, the timer's about to go off. Don't get startled by the ring. If I allow there to be double damage, I feel like the game would be less about the tactics of movement, positioning, and more about just getting your guys to just do type matchups. That would be it. So we're sticking to just a flat additional value. It also means less math. So, you know. Plus 20 damage with factoring weaknesses. That is the weakness bonus, Peter. By the way, we're on break, so I'm gonna get up and stretch, and I recommend that you do as well. Let's make an example. So let's say that Goblino over here, Goblino, as we have established, my good friend Goblino. Goblino is weak to fire, because as we all know, no, actually, wait, hold up. Goblino loves fire. Goblino is weak to water because he's stinky. So, Goblino, on Goblino's character sheet, on the little part that has all of the affinities, all the elements in the game, the segment for the element Aqua will say plus 20. That means that when Goblino is hit by an Aqua affinity move, Goblino takes 20 additional damage. That is only if the move is energized, aka if the attacker's If the attacker and the move match affinities, then it deals that additional damage. That's it. It's not double damage, it's just a flat additional amount. Now, Maxi, can you have double the weakness? So the way that the creature creation system is working is that when your all Zetamon will have at least one affinity. When you gain an affinity, you literally roll a dice, and that result will tell you which affinity you are weak to. So let's say Goblino is a chemical reaction Zetamon, fire type. You know, a chemical reaction Zetamon. I rolled a d6, and the result tells me that Goblino is weak to aqua. That is a chance for the player's own creativity and self-expression to come in. You get to envision why your Zetamon is weak to that element. Thank you, Dale. You get to envision why. The game will not tell you why your Zetamon is weak to the element they're weak to. That is on you to envision yourself, and I feel like that's a better solution than, you know, having to come up with a bunch of systems for like, oh, well, your Zetamon is this and that. I feel like my answer for a lot of the game design space in this game has been just giving player the freedom to decide for themselves. Peter is correct. The only other case is that if the Zetamon using the Aqua move has been energized by the player spending the lowly 1 energy they get per turn. That seems like a few checks. It does, and I will not argue with that. But I feel like once you get into the flow of it, it will be a lot easier to check me things. And especially because all of this information is like out in the open. So like it isn't like, you know, I check on you, you check on me. The other thing is that I am also making doubly sure to remove like needless checks. So for instance, in this game, you don't roll for defense. Literally the attacker just has to exceed whatever your defense or evasion is. Simple as that. No, Peter, don't worry about it. I mean, I do know it is late. It is late where you are. But don't feel bad. I appreciate any and all questions. Now it's getting warm over here, so I'm gonna turn on the AC if y'all don't mind. All right, there might be a little bit of background noise. Please forgive me. All right, and with that, we're jumping into another cycle. I know that I spent one cycle just explaining, but that's okay. The thing is, y'all don't realize, but this stream is just the rubber ducky situation, but for me. In explaining to you, it helps me be better understand what I'm doing. And we begin the next cycle. So, we're all rubber ducks, there you go. And then, you know, you do the effect that's in the move. Some effects will have an energized trigger that, you know, the thing that happens in there only happens if you spend 1 energy. Peter, I was thinking of making that joke. We all float down here because we're rubber duckies. Whether the move does damage or not, that's all part of the on-hit effect. There might be moves, for instance, moves that will always do damage regardless of what the roll is. For instance, but there will also be moves that give you a flexibility of choices. For instance, Water Hose can deal 20 damage to a foe or to a target, forgive me. Or the target is pushed 1 zone away. I was talking about this on the Discord, but like this means that wow, is this song just quiet? Why is this song so quiet? Oh, I know why I can't hear anything. My headphones unplugged. There we go. There we go. That's much better. I'm like, I can't hear anything. It is meant to be quiet, but I couldn't hear anything. Nonetheless, with that out of the way, I was talking on the Discord about how you could actually use Water Hose to hit one of your own Zetamon and push them out of the way of an attack perhaps. I know it's a little silly that you have to literally roll an attack against one of your buddies, but you know, flexibility is good. You will most likely use this against an enemy, though. For instance, you know, movement in Zetamon is most likely done through spending energy. So by pushing an enemy, your opponent will basically have to spend their turn's energy just repositioning. This is a good move. This is why the move does nothing. You know, the option isn't do 10 damage and push. Pushing enough is good enough in my book. You know, forcing a player to spend that energy to reposition their melee Zetamon, I feel like that's good enough, honestly. Yeah. Peter, as a matter of fact, so you know, this game is built. I'm building this game on a lot of the knowledge and lessons that I picked up from Deus Ex Machina, my mecha single player TTRPG, and a lot of that was inspired by Into the Breach. I like Into the Breach because it has an awful lot of complete information. You know what the enemies are gonna do, when they're gonna do it. There isn't a high degree of randomness. It is more about making the best out of the choices you have available to you. And again, like Into the Breach, huge inspiration. There's also a lot of Slay the Spire in here, particularly in the way that counters work. For instance, Yonalong is a support move that apparently uses cute. Don't worry about that. I don't think that's actually locked in. I don't think there's a cute stat. I'm gonna break your heart. Let's just put meta in here for now before I forget. On hit, target and user both gain Drowsy too. At the start of your turn, flip a coin. If tails, user loses all Drowsy and their turn ends. A more fair version of sleep. And you know, on hit, this happens, and on miss, this happens. So you know, it's a pretty fair move. But if you miss, you get all of the downside. And lastly, Psy Bullet. Psy Bullet is a move that can only be done from 1 to 2 range, so you cannot hit any people in melee. Deals 20 damage, and then you flip 2 coins. If both are heads, the user gains advantage too, which essentially allows you to roll more dice. What happens with Drowsy if it's heads? If heads, nothing happens. Heads is the positive result, tails is the negative result always. So, you know, if I guess I could outline in this effect that if heads, your turn happens as normal. You know? But normally if the effect doesn't say a thing, you assume that nothing happens on that effect. Anywho, so I have next to me in this document, I have a web page of all of the Pokemon moves in Generation 1. Here is every single move in Generation 1. I don't know how useful this is going to be. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it does serve a purpose at giving us a certain point of view. For instance, here is all of the water type moves in Generation 1. Bubble, Bubble Beam, Clamp, Crab Hammer, Hydro Pump, Surf, Water Gun, Waterfall, and Withdraw. These are all the water type moves in Pokemon Generation 1. So, I like looking at this because it gives me a chance to lower my expectations, because it's really easy to be like, well, I want players to have a lot of options, so there should be, I don't know, 20 different moves of every type, and then you realize that's actually an awful lot, and that's an awful lot of work. I would rather, oh crap, I haven't told you! Okay, so, I have bad news. You may want to sit down for this, okay? I have bad news for you. Some of you might have already surmised this, considering what we've been talking about. Originally, I intended for there to be a randomly generated system for moves. A move studio, if you may. Where you could create moves by rolling on dice, and you could spend points to upgrade them and whatever. That's too much. Turns out I'm just one person. And once again, creating a whole system, creating a system for creating things, I'm allowing myself It's gone, reduced to ashes. I'm already giving players a tool for creating creatures. I think perhaps having some degree of control over the moves is probably for the best. You narrowly avoided GURPS powers. There we go. I will say, when I was thinking of the Zetamon creation rules, where you roll a dice and it gives you like an animal shape, and then you roll to see what weirdness you have, I realized that I'm just recreating. I'm just recreating what I always, as a game designer, you always go back. You always go back to the well, right? You always go back to the well. Please open this image, please. Here we go. Yeah. I realized that what I was creating for Zetamon was very similar to TMNT and Other Strangeness, the first tabletop role-playing game I ever owned. Rolling on a creature type and then like rolling to modify that creature is essentially how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness tabletop role-playing game works. This game is from the freaking 80s, man. It is a 1985. Yep. It is 112 pages, and I have it right here, folks. That nice note. TTRPG ASMR, by the way. That right there, that is the sound of a 30-year-old book that I'm holding in my hands right now. The lamination on the cover has began to roll off. The glue holding it together has began to give way. I am holding in my hands. The top of the text is dark. No, the top of the cover is dark, and it has black text on top, which makes the top layer over here impossible to read. A complete game compatible with Heroes Unlimited and Ninjas and Super Spies. Contains dozens of mutant animals, martial arts, ninjutsu, the Ninja Turtles, and adventure scenarios, and more. The revised edition, by the way, for ages 12 and older. You think we're old enough to play this game? It is one thing. Would anybody like to know the stats for a badger? Badgers are squat carnivorous animals who spend most of their time digging into the underground nests of their prey. It is size level 4. It is between 25 and 28 inches, 12 to 16 pounds. It is short. It gives you a total of 65 bio points. God, I love being a game designer and realizing that I'm not original in any way, shape, or form. I'm just recreating the things that I already enjoyed. Maxi, did you ever actually play this game? I did like a quarter of a session with Plaguesworth a long time ago. Also, Maxi, don't you know that they remade this game? They did a Kickstarter to relaunch it. Yeah, it was earlier this year, and I missed it because I was not paying attention. Anyways, so keeping in mind that there is a limited amount of moves for every single archetype, I think we should stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with a brand new edition. Maxi, you're old, Maxi. I know. I was fangirling about a TTRPG from 1985 before I was born. I'm so old. I'm so old. I think 1985 is old. Oh my god, Dale. That's true. In the UK, they couldn't call them Ninja Turtles because they thought that was too edgy. So they called them Ninja Heroes. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, which is TMHT does not have the same draw to it. Anyway, so where do I put this? Let's make a heading. What do we need to do today? I would like to come up with a baseline for what moves and how many we need to do. we need to make and create. Since the combat beta will only feature a stage 1 Zetamon, and I know what you're thinking, Maxi, I'm a Pokemon TCG nut. Don't you mean basic Zetamon? No, shut the hell up. I am putting my foot down. I have always had issues with the Pokemon with the Pokemon table trading card game having basic Pokemon, and then the second stage is called stage 1. That makes no sense. I am making amends. Stage 1 is baby? Essentially, yeah. Stage 1 is the first stage of the Zetamon's Zetamorphosis line. So, I know what you're thinking, Maxi, are you telling me that the combat beta is going to be essentially Little Cup? You're correct. I might even call it the Little Cup beta. The Little Cup beta. So, thankfully, since we are only doing the Little League slash Baby Cup slash that Baby Mario stage from Mario Kart 8 that I love, Little League, etc, 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 etc. We don't have to make crazy moves. I do also want to clarify that some moves will have a stage requirement. So for instance, you can't be a baby. Baby Park, thank you. I love Baby Park. If you're a Baby Park hater, leave a like and subscribe. I'm not gonna ask you to leave. No, keep watching. No. We can have a disagreement. I'm right, you're wrong. That's life. Moving on. So the reason for that is that I very much don't want to have a situation like in Pokemon where you can have access to like incredible powerful moves really early on. You shouldn't all I'm saying is that you should not be a Goblino with Flamethrower, okay? Goblino should not have access to Flamethrower or Secret Fire as soon as it pops out of whatever horrible goblin hole goblins come out of. That's something way worse than I intended. I apologize for that. Can Goblino have matches? Oh, dude. Goblino is at fault for so much arson. What if I'm Baby Park apathetic? No opinion on the track. That's okay too. Please do subscribe and like. My girlfriend says hi. Hi, Sapphire's girlfriend. Hello. Welcome in. Are you watching on a different device? Don't forget to like on a different device and watch and subscribe on a different device. I'm kidding, by the way. That's a joke. That's a joke. I can't be baby? No, Ronnie, you can't be baby. In fact, in the beta for this game, you can only be baby. You can only be a stage 1 Zetamon. Oh, is Ronnie asking if you can be a baby like Pichu? No, I have deleted. I have deleted baby Zetamon from existence. There is no such thing as like Pichus. There's no such thing as like Igglybuffs or Munchlaxes, and the reason for that is because it's already hard enough to justify a setting where you and other living creatures fight each other for fun. I cannot possibly allow a setting where making babies fight is okay. I can't do that. I can't morally do that. Maxi just admitted to infant genocide. No. See, they exist. I bet there's a baby Goblino out there, but you cannot throw baby Goblino into the ring, okay? Pichu deleted, evil defeated, thank you. We have sealed the evil. It's child protection. Yeah, you hold the baby in front of you. You can't arrest me, I'm holding a child in front of me. Does that make sense? That means no Togepi either. I'm sorry, I'm rip to all the Togepi enjoyers. Togepi is really more of like, I mean, I guess Togepi is a baby, actually. I guess Togepi is a baby. Anyways, so this means that the power level of the moves we're going to be enabling is going to be relatively low. This means the power level is going to be relatively low. For me, that means that most moves deal the standard 20 DMG. Weak moves with effects will deal 10 damage, and powerful moves with downsides will deal... Sorry, my ring light just nearly fell on my head. Man, I knew I shouldn't have put an anvil right over my work desk. Mods, could somebody... Kendra, I'm deleting your message because I will not acknowledge that. Kendra, I will not acknowledge that comment you made, Kendra, okay? Is that the first time I've deleted a Kendra comment, actually? That is the first Kendra comment I have deleted in 7 years, by the way. Kendra has been timed out 0 times. Message deleted is 1. Don't boo me, I'm right. No. There are things I don't want to think about while I'm streaming. That's one of them. Yeah, no. Yeah, out of all the time Kendra has rickrolled me, that's all fine. Mentioning pieces of shit on my stream, that gets deleted. I had a heart attack thinking someone shitty attacked the 2 seconds I looked from stream. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to acknowledge that. And powerful moves with downsides will deal 30 to 40 damage. Depending on the downside. What did Kendra say? Dale, don't ask. That's it. Also because the power level. Yeah, Kendra called me a poopy pants. It's true. Yeah, Kendra said Maxi's a poopy pants who poops their pants, and I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. I'm an adult. I'm trying to think. Kendra's literally the one who's like, you know, it's crazy. I've lived in New York City so many years, and I've yet to poop my pants. And I'm like, you're waiting for that? Like it's gonna happen? Like it's inevitable? Like there's a counter above your head, and every day ticks down, and when it hits 0, that's the day you're. Sorry, I'm describing a counter in Zetamon, by the way. Guys, should I have a status effect in Zetamon that says poopy pants, and when it counts to 0, your Zetamon poops itself? You know, actually, fun fact, did you all know that Kendra said you should all show up to Kate's fundraiser stream on the 15th at 1 p.m. Maxi time? It's true. It's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, the power level of the status effects will be lower as well. As to how many of each type we need, there are 2 axes to consider. There are Def moves and Ava moves. Def is usually for melee / contact moves, while Ava is for projectile / okay, I'll write it in all caps. Projectile / ranged moves. What about support moves? What about him, Peter? I'm getting there, by the way. Wrong def sound. That's right, yeah. I don't know if there's gonna be one-hit KO moves. That seems like a bad thing competitively. So I'm gonna just safely say there's not gonna be. There are also support moves. So each... There should be... Support shouldn't move. Support should be stable. Wow, spoken like a true weight-bearing beam there, Ronnie. I consider Ronnie to be a weight-bearing beam, honestly. You know, Ronnie does a lot for the community, by the way. You know what we haven't done in forever, by the way? Exclamation mark praise Moontomes. Kendra says, I'm trying not to sneeze, by the way. Kendra says, Mayday chat. Kendra, okay, Kendra, can I know that this is gonna derail the stream. Kendra, what do I want to know? Am I gonna have to delete your message again, Kendra? What do you mean by Republican makeup? What does that fucking mean? What does that mean? Did you paint a thin blue line across your forehead? What happened? I don't know. What does that mean? Kendra's putting on the finishing powder, and then they realize that it says all lives matter on it. Like, what happened? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm expecting a full essay, by the way. Ronnie says respectfully, Kendra, go touch some grass. There isn't a lot of grass in New York City. Kendra would have to go all the way to freaking the park. What is it called? State Park? Street Park? Central Park? How central can it be? It's like off to the side. There should be a couple of each for each affinity. A couple of each for each affinity. Enough so that people playing the combat demo can get a feeling for what the identity of each affinity is. Kendra says it's a whole makeup aesthetic. Kendra. Okay, the timer's going off in 30 seconds. I feel like, by the way, don't be startled when it happens. Kendra, you're a Twinkie ass he-they in New York City with blue hair, a mesh top, and a labubu in your bag. I don't think you could do anything to make yourself look Republican. I just. Anyways, fellas, if you have been sitting down this whole time, get up and stretch. We'll start making moves shortly, I assure you. I will not be looking busted meeting a hero. Kendra, how could you look busted? Just put some glitter on your cheekbones and just get out of there, okay? Freaking. I don't know. You're like, Maxi, I look like a Republican. Why? What did you? What is the glitter on your cheekbones red, white, and blue? All right, fellas. I want to let you know, by the way, that this stream is supported by viewers just like you. If you enjoy the stream, please consider supporting me through coffee.com/mkirin. All donations mean a lot. Also, you can check out my games over at itch.io, namely mkirin.itch.io. You can also download my books and check out my fiction. Most of my stuff is free to download. Go give it a try, and if you like it, I don't know, toss me a book or two, okay? And if you haven't already, please consider leaving a 5-star review or just a 5-star rating. You don't even have to write anything. Just leave 5 stars on my project. Reviews and ratings are very important for discoverability. So if you would like people to discover Zetamon when it releases, please consider 5-star ratings on my work. Thank you. Alright, gotta stretch. I should have a pose where I stretch so you can actually see me stretching. Alternatively, a pose that is just me doing praise the sun. Because that is literally how I stretch. Oh, Dale. I think I might retire the Maxi Stonks. I released them at a bad time. And now I'm like, do I even want to engage with the Maxi Stonks concept? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I could have like an inventory system like Ronnie and Kate have, but instead I don't know, maybe you catch Zetamon. Maybe that's better. Maybe, you know what? I think that would be cute. Kendra says, God, I really fucked the chat. Kendra, you're legally required to show me a photo. I won't show it on stream. I want to know what you mean you fucked it. I need to know what you mean by that. I really like the stonk, says Dale. Hell yeah. Now, it appears that I do in fact have to clear my throat again. Please forgive me, I'll be right back. Sorry, just keep reading Kendra's comment of God, I really fucked the chat. I wiped all the makeup off and reapplied it over my bronzer and contour. Doing more of that, dear Lord, I just want to serve. You know what? Out of context, I love, dear God, I really fucked the chat. Oh, that's so good. By the way, Kendra, when you change your name, I will edit all of the quotes. By the way, so it'll be lore accurate. I'm just tickled by the idea that like Kendra's like, okay, and all I gotta do is just put the finishing powder on, and then there across their cheekbones, it just reads, you know, religious liberty. Yo, Kendra says it's gotta be soon. My name gives me hives, literally. Okay, what should we call you instead, Kendra? You know, do you want to just jump into Ollie? We'll call you Oliver. Ollie's cute. I like, see, top 5 reasons why I like Oliver. Okay, it makes me think of John Oliver, who's hilarious. Ollie is cute, makes me think of an Ollie from skating. Very transmask coded. It's also much shorter to say, and I like short names. That's why all my friends have short names. Olive oil, Ollie. Yeah. You know, it's fine. That way, the name doubles up as your favorite dressing order. Peter says Oliver reminds me of Nino Kuni. You named your friends? No. My good friend Kendra Purpleface PhD has been thinking of changing their name. Solar says, you named your friends. Mine just came with pre-existing names. No, Kendra's been wanting to change their name forever. See, and Kendra's gone quiet because they're like, wait, hold up, but what if everyone starts calling me a different name? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Kendra says the only hang-up with Oliver has been fitting my last name on. It sounds wonky. What do you mean? Oliver Purpleface PhD, it just works. Kendra says I'm quiet because I'm trying to bail out the sinking ship. That's my conserving. Not me. It feels... Sorry, Kendra, I love you. This last 5 minutes felt like I've been shaking the tree, hoping that the quote fruit falls out of the Kendra tree. Oh, delicious quote fruit. All right, back in there. So for every move we need For every affinity, we need not Oliver and Company. Oliver and Company with Billy Joel as the voice of the dog. What happened? Who decided that? Kendra says, glad someone is enjoying the rich harvest of my suffering. Dude. Yeah, see. Never mind. I was gonna keep going, but I'm gonna leave. It is set in New York City. We need melee / contact moves. We need range / projectile moves. We need support moves. I believe that it was, in fact, Fadeleaf who said, oh, so many hours ago that perhaps 2 of each would be good. 2 of each particular thread. I think it probably would be best to have, for these, we have like a consistent but basic move. And also, probably, yeah, a consistent but basic move, and then a inconsistent but high reward move. What we're calling Gamba, by the way. And the same will be true for the ranged. I'm honestly, this feels like a nice little parallel for all of this. Now, I do realize that there's also another paradigm we haven't considered, and that is the existence of the tags. So there's also the topic of tags. The basic tags are as follows. We have body, which everyone except for weirdos that don't have bodies have. Essentially the Wraith, Spectre, Ghost, Spirit, Zetamon. I know I named 4 different things. It's actually just one out of the D100 table. And I haven't picked a name. Chat, by the way, chat, your current the question while I'm typing this stuff is, which name for bodiless Zetamon is best? Okay, option 1 is Spirit. I don't like Spirit. Option 2 is Ghost. Option 3 is Spectre, and option 4 is Wraith. Nobody's. Damn it, Peter. That's actually kind of funny. That's kind of hilarious, Peter. Unless I see votes going one way or another, nobody sounds kind of good. I love the idea of saying, yeah, this guy has nobody. Although Spirit is like the most general. Yeah, Peter is also right. Spirit is almost too general for me. It's almost like too vanilla for me. But anyways, Nobody's is a Kingdom Hearts joke. Yeah, but Kingdom Hearts doesn't own the concept of wordplay, so it's fine. Also, that would require someone remembering Kingdom Hearts, and I feel like I'm fine with that. You know? Who even knows about Kingdom Hearts anymore? Everyone except Spirit have access to these. Body are the most general, kinda nothing moves, but everyone has access to them. Thus, flexibility. After that, we have sharp moves. Which the access to the following moves will be based on whether you have those tags. So some Zetamon will not have sharp, some will not have crush, and some may not have sense. This is in fact 2 different kinds, two identities for melee and 1 identity for ranged. Though I can absolutely envision the possibility of some moves that are ranged but still use sharp and or crush. I envision something, perchance something like Water Shuriken from Greninja being a sharp move, even though you're rolling using a physical attacking move. And something like throwing a giant boulder would definitely be crush. As for the identities of these guys, sharp is high damage. Identity. High damage. Crush. The identity of Crush is that it often applies status effects. Effects/CC crowd control. And the identity for Sense is that it is ranged. Ranged attacks. Baby, you forgot the identity part, Maxi. You got it. So. Sorry, I just got a text. I should probably reply to my wife. Maxi, you should probably reply to your wife, Maxi. First off, Kitty gave me a lovely message. I'm gonna hit Kitty with a heart and also a thumbs up. Alright. And so we're back to... There we go. So, I almost feel like I need like a matrix. I need to draw like a matrix. Because we have the element... Okay. Maxi, when in doubt, Maxi, just make a table, Maxi. So I need a table. I need a table with 6 elements and 1 additional tab for the labels. Body, Sharp, Crush, Sense. Support. Hold up. Maxi, can you testify as to what the thumbs up signifies? God damn it, Kendra. So when my wife said, Maxi, I hope you have a lovely stream, love you, and I replied with the fist up, American flag, fire emoji, I was talking about how I love my wife, and my wife rules. Yeah, Kendra's been in hell. Kendra's been having a great time. Oliver has had a great time. What is the best way to sort this out? I guess we could begin by just having the affinities just out there. Attacking moves. Range moves. Support moves. Let's just start here. We'll just start here for now. Does this fit? Okay, this does fit, okay. Affinity. You please make this black and make the font white so that it's easy to tell. As to what affinity I want to begin with, don't even ask me, by the way. I don't even know what affinity would be the easiest to start with. I guess if you wanted to start in order, we could start with Chem. Just give me a fire emoji, please. Chem. And then there's gonna be melee, ranged, and support. Followed by bolt, followed by aqua, followed by bio. Actually, I do realize that dust is actually before bio, but that isn't a big deal. It isn't a big deal, Max says, fixing it. Yep. Now you know how my brain works. And give me fortune telling there we go. And we'll make meta here. There you go. Here's all the 6 affinities of Zetamon. We can actually close you in. We don't need that much space. Ghast would be a good name. I'll put Ghast in there. I'm not sure about Ghast, but it has a little bit of Minecraft baggage. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Maxi, so Minecraft baggage is not okay, but Kingdom Hearts baggage is okay. No one remembers Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is essentially a dead franchise. I'm sorry. Minecraft had a movie literally like 3 weeks ago. Maxi, how dare you, Maxi? Maxi! Kingdom Hearts is not a dead franchise, Maxi. You know, it's only had 2 games in the last 10 years. They're making Kingdom Hearts 4? Oh yeah, they're definitely making it. Yeah, it'll be out in 2030. Maxi, why do you hate Kingdom Hearts? I actually don't. I actually don't hate Kingdom Hearts. I'm just being pedantic right now. Let's fill you in with the lightest little red color, just for me. So, for inspiration, let's look at Pokemon Fire moves from Generation 1. There's just one, it's Fire Punch? Oh, Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay. I think I'm going to take a little side detour, by the way. There we go. Perfect. Can we please zoom out, please? Zoom me out. Zoom me out. Copy me. I guess, you know what? We're starting with fire, by the way. We're starting with fire. We're just going to go in there. All right. Zoom me in, please. Zoom me in a little bit more. Venom Fang? Maybe. All right, so first off, I want to make a point, by the way, that I want to remind you that the identity of the chemical type, by the way, it's the chemical reaction type, you know, anything that changes and or destroys matter. That's the vibe of chemical. After all, fire is one of many chemical reactions. We decided to do this to allow a home for poison type creatures to exist here without just being plant-based, essentially. This is where a lot of like man-made, pollution-based creatures would live, like, you know, Grimer, Trubbish, my beloved. Fire is one of many chemical romances. Thank you. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale. So the identity of Chem. So, by the way, each element has an identity, and the identity, the traits of that identity become rarer the further down. So the most common identity for Chem is that it generates counters that damage over time their target, the so-called hurt counters. The next trait of chemical moves is that they give you powerful buffs with a downside, and sometimes the buffs get better over time. Think of something like Dragon Dance, perchance. And the rarest, but also the most powerful chemical effect is the ability to remove counters altogether, and sometimes they gain a bonus for doing so. So we're gonna use these as inspiration for the moves, moving on now. I definitely think that clearly we need a move that applies, hurt counters. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. So, move ideas. I'm thinking there should probably be like a fire punch. I feel like a fire punch is like the most common thing. So we're gonna put fire punch in here. This is definitely a crush move. I don't know how I'm gonna type this, by the way, so just bear with me as I figure out how to like write this out. Perhaps we could use with more space, by the way. Maybe just a little bit more. There we go. So fire punch. Poor Kendra. Kendra. I swear to God, like, Kendra's like, guys, my makeup is terrible, and then they send me a photo, and then they just look gorgeous, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I see how it is. Man, your standards are really like offset by living in New York, where everyone is hot. Kendra really do be sitting on the corner of their bedroom, being like, guys, I'm so ugly, and meanwhile they just look like a freaking 10 out of 10. Damn. Okay, Kendra's gonna be like, actually, Maxi, a Midwest 10 out of 10 is like a New York City like 3 out of 10, and I'm like, fuck, man, inflation, huh? Maxi, why do you read Kendra so hard, Maxi? It's because they're my friend, and I know, and I've known them for like what, a decade now. Fire punch is definitely a crush move. It's a crush move. We're gonna put crush, chem, attack. I feel like I think, as we established earlier, moves with an effect will deal around 10 damage. I think because this is a move that requires you having crush, which is already rare enough, I feel comfortable making that a 20 damage move. So again, this is clearly a melee attack, melee move. I guess we can put like, target 1, range melee. The term, by the way, term. What are the other things that I have on this thing? It is definitely, I guess, T1, RM, attack plus crush. And the affinity is in fact Chem. This feels like enough code. As for the actual effect of this move, I am very much envisioning it does 20 damage. And because 20 damage is like the baseline for a good effect, we're gonna make the counter generation random. We're gonna make it let's make it you know what? I have a perfect idea. 20 DMG, flip 2 coins. For each head, apply hurt 1. There you go. So that means that on average, 50% of the time it will apply 1 hurt, which will deal 10 damage at the start of the Zetamon's turn, or it will do nothing. It will apply nothing half of the time. Half of the time it does nothing. 25% of the time it applies 1, and the other 25% it applies 2. And to me, boom, easy peasy. That's 1 move, baby. Okay, so that's a crush fire punch. Clearly, we need some sort of fellas. Can I have a name for a move about spewing flames that is not fire flamethrower? And perhaps could we maybe? Do you guys think fire punch is weak enough? Should we perhaps give it a different name? It's maybe flame punch, I guess. Ember punch. I am flame spewing move. Yeah, so a move where you spew flames, by the way. Exhaust. Because, man, this is crazy. In the original Pokemon, there's only 5 fire moves. You know it's bad? When there's almost as many fire moves as there's fire Pokemon. Fire Spin, Fire Punch, Fire Blast, Ember. We'll just call you Fire Punch for now. As much as I would very much like to call you something else. Because a part of me, like, I am mentally stable and can be trusted with firearms. Please draft me. Also, hello. Hey. Hey, Hans. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Hans? Hey, how you doing, Hans? Me playing a trading card game and seeing that I found a copy of Hans in my opening hand. Get drafted, son. There should be like a fire body attack, perchance. How's the work on the game going? It's going fun. I'm having a lot of fun working on the game. We're making some basic ideas for moves. That's the name, flame spewing move. Kendra, I swear to God, Kendra. Kendra, I swear to God. Kendra, if you won't show me what you look like with your makeup on, you don't get to give me move suggestions. I'm kidding. I love you, Kendra. You can suggest whatever you want. Oh, you know what? Fired Up. Fired Up sounds like a great name for a support move, by the way. Fired Up. This is gonna be a what stat am I doing? What about a stat where what about a move where you literally don't roll anything, Maxi? Fire Spout? Fire Spout is not too bad. Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna say that Fired Up is most definitely a sense move. No, you know what? This is just like it's literally just Chem. Fire Search is not bad. I like Fire Search. Fire Up is a chemical reaction support move. The target is self, by the way. The range is literally does not matter because it's freaking self. Fire Spouts are actual things too, by the way. Is it? Is that the thing in chemistry class? You also don't roll anything, and it is Chem. I don't know how to write this entire thing. What if I do like slashes in between, huh? I hate the way this looks. No, when there's a fire, there's sometimes these bursts of flames. I'm looking it up right now. It's not because I don't think Ronnie's lying, it's because I want to know what it means. Fire spout. What's a fire spout? Also known as a fire whirl. Ooh, that's dope as hell. I don't think I can show you this because this might dox me. That's dope. Okay, we're doing a fire spout for sure. In the US, that's a tornado on fire. Dude, that's fun. Not that fire is fun, but I'm like, that looks cool as hell. You know what? Let me go I'll get an image so that you all see what this freaking looks like. What's a good image? Oh, this image looks intense. All right, we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna show you my screen again. There you go. The image for fire spout is as follows. Boom, there you go. That's dope. I like fire spout. So that would be a sense attack. It would be. I've seen a couple IRL. Oh no, Ronnie. Chem for sure. An attack. I actually kind of like the idea of it being a sense move. It could be a body move actually. No. Maxi. It's an attack. We're gonna make this a white attack that has much like Fire Punch a chance of applying hurt. I feel like that's the way to go. So the target is literally an entire zone. Once in Game Master classes, Dale, we use various elements and we would see what color they would be when merged with fire. Phosphorus was green or purple. That's dope as hell. I never did anything fun in chemistry class other than the time our professor nearly burned his leaf. The range is, let's go like 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is like perhaps just 1. But I like the idea of putting limitations. It's attack plus sense, by the way, and this is definitely a chem move. Sulfur is blue. That's dope as hell, especially because isn't sulfur in like dust / mineral form just literally like bright as yellow? Man, I love science. Sorry. You activated Hans, the chemistry nerd. Hans calling the fire that these minerals create a spectra, and that's like dope as hell. I really shouldn't call it I want to use the word spectra somewhere though. In normal temperature, it's yellow. That's so cool. So fire spout, your Zetamon picks a zone 1 in an area 1 zone away. So if you are in the center, you can do any of the ring areas around you, and every Zetamon in that zone has a chance of taking hurt counters. I feel like that's like the way to go. Now, what's the way to do it? Perhaps this is a 10 damage to everyone in there. I'm kind of okay with that. Ooh, to everyone, ally and foe alike. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Oh, that's spicy. I like that. I like that. I think that the effect of already hurting a bunch of targets in one zone is already really powerful. So I think I'm gonna make it an energize counter. Energize. If you energize this move, after hitting, roll 1d4. That's too much. 1d4 is way too much. Flip 2 coins. For each head, apply hurt 1 to all targets. There you go. That's the way to do it. I kind of like this whole flip 2 coins and you apply hurt as being like almost like a keyword for like the early fire moves. So that's fire spout. I like that. Fire spout is fun. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think there should be a buff to make your guy stronger. I realize fire spout should be here instead. A self-buffing move feels in place for something like this. The timer just went off. Instead of instead of continuing to work and breaking the rules, I'm gonna take a break because I know my wife could be joining us at any minute, namely in 13 minutes from now. But I'm gonna get up and stretch. If you have not gotten up in a while, I recommend you do so, if you feel like it, if you can. I'm gonna get up myself. Headphones are off. I'm up on my feet. I'm stretching. By the way, if you haven't already, please consider leaving a like on the stream. It actually helps a lot. Thank you. Okay. So, as we established, the identity of chemical moves is generating hurt counters, self-buffing, and the ability to remove counters. Perhaps we can bring in the last identity with the... perhaps it's like some sort of like cleansing with fire, kind of like aesthetic. Like your Zetamon like burns away all the counters they had on them. I kind of like that. What I was thinking is that I want it to be a counter where the next time you attack, you add that many that you add the value as a bonus to your attack roll, and then you lose all the bonus, essentially making your next attack higher to hit, more likely to hit. Oh, the chinchillas are going crazy. Hey, big girl. Hey, big girl. Hello. Hi. Chat, should I give the chinchillas treats? Chat, be honest. Maxi, I didn't know you had chinchillas. I do. The thing you should know is that chinchillas are nocturnal creatures, so they spend most of the night wide awake, going crazy, running in their wheel, and they spend most of the day sleeping. It's big girl. It's big girl. What's wrong, big girl? Hi. Hi. Just like me, says Ronnie. Han says, oh, chemical stories, let's go. Chemistry stories. Once I was tasked to burn some phosphorus, but we were meant to use the bit that was already on the spoon thingy. I didn't get that, so I put a bit of red phosphorus on it. Oh no. Han says, yeah, and that's why I'm not allowed to go back to the university anymore. What's wrong, big girl? It burned so bright that a guy outside went in and asked what the fuck happened. Oh, I love that. Hey, big girl. Little treat for big girl. Here you go. And I guess little girl's asleep. No, I see little girl. There you go, little girl. There you go, a little treat for the girls. Wait, Maxi, you named your chinchilla Big Girl, and what is the other name? No, they're Popola and Devola. Devola is the big one, Popola is the little one. Han says, if I had looked straight into the burning phosphorus, I might have blinded myself. Oh, that's great. Dude, I love science. Are they characters or something? They are named after two characters from the game series Nier. They appeared in Nier Gestalt / Replicant. And also in Nier Automata. Devola es una mujer grande, bien grande. Oh, es tan grande. Y bien redonda. Gris y redonda como todos mis niños. Holy crap, Max, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. Well, I speak English so badly, clearly I must be able to speak another language. Could you imagine if I could only speak English? I only speak English and badly, could you imagine? Anyways, back to focus. So, burn away. Let's go with burn away. Por que no los dos? There you go. Cleanse, burn. It's just Maxi. Just go with the name, okay? So with burn away, remove all counters from remove. Okay, user removes all counters. For each counter removed, flip a coin. For each hex, gain empower 1. Scorch? Ooh, scorch away. I guess the imagery that I have in my head is the imagery of like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I guess from the ashes is way too intense of a name though for a move meant for the baby group. You know what, actually, and I do realize the effect is too powerful. We're gonna make that an energized trigger. For each counter removed, flip a coin. For each heads, gain empowered one. Before rolling to attack, or after rolling to attack, gain +1 for each empower, and then lose all empower. There you go. It essentially makes your next attack do more, okay? From the Ashes is way too good. I'm gonna put it under ideas for moves. Cleanse is like way too like... Consume? Let's just go with burn away for now, okay? Alright, so a fire punch, that's a crush. Is there... Could I come up with some sort of like fire-based sharp move? I don't know. Fire slash? Back with food, welcome back, Kate. A fire move that uses your body and or really uses your body as the whole thing. Cauterize? I do want to clarify again that I'm gonna write down cauterize, because that's actually a great idea. Cauterize. But I'm looking for like perhaps moves that are a little bit like lower power level, because these are going to the first stage Zetamon. Essentially all the babies. So it would very much, like, again, like, should Goblino be allowed to use Cauterize as an ability? Also, hi Chase! Welcome in! Long time no see.
Welcome back.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy.
Sorry, I don't know if Chase is a boy. I pressed that button by mistake. If you are, hell yeah. If you're not, apologies. Apologies. It's not my fault. It's actually, it's Goblino. Goblino got me all messed up. Goblino actually pressed the buttons. Maybe Goblino can cauterize a little as a treat. Boy GN. Thank you. I will say though, yeah, I mean like Ronnie's joking, but Ronnie's vibes are kind of boy GN though. Like I will say that's Ronnie's vibes right there. Fire punch. Fire lash, I guess. Fire slash. Another word for chemical reaction. Essentially, you know what? Chemical reaction slash. We're just gonna move a little bit faster instead of worrying. This is a sharp move. It is chemical. It is an attack. The target is 1. It is in range melee. It is attack plus sharp, and it is a chemical move. It does 20 damage, and I think a part of me is like, perhaps I did see the identity of chemical moves is that they deal more damage. Sorry, the identity of sharp moves. So I think I might just do like some sort of random element and deals 10 additional damage on the spot, perhaps. Kendra says makeup is put away. I sent you a photo. Let's see. Here, Maxi. The end of my suffering. Damn, that's a cute boy on my phone right now. Dude, there's this really cute boy in my phone. With the mesh top. Oh my god. Oh my god. And blue hair. And the glitter. I don't know if you should have I don't know if you should have really gone for the red, white, and blue glitter, but you know what? Kendra, I don't know where you're going. So you know what? I believe you. So you look very handsome, Kendra. And I know me calling you a 10 out of 10 makes you go, well, yeah, that's a Midwest 10 out of 10. So you know what? I'm just gonna say you're in New York. You're a New York 7, Kendra, okay? If for fire, oxidation could be used. Ooh. I love having Hans in chat for this, actually. Oxidizing slash. I don't know if that's maybe a little bit also too intense. Oxidizing and slicing and dicing? Slicing and oxidizing? Oh baby. Oh baby. Oxidizing and slicing. Slicing and oxidizing. I do in fact have a way with words. Slicing and oxidizing. That is such a good move idea, man. There are slow oxidations. Slicing and oxidizing is like I'm putting this name is too good to wait to put it in there. Kendra says New York 7 is a tremendous compliment. Batting out of my league. Oh my god. I'm just gonna call you slicing and oxidizing. And I think for this one, the identity of fire of sharp moves is they just deal more damage. How can I? Hans says Krypton defluoride is the strongest oxidizer if I'm up to date. That's incredible. Dale says a New York 7 is a Midwest 11. There you go. Slicing and oxidizing. Is 20 DMG enough? Is 30 DMG too much? You know what? 30 DMG. There you go. Just calling it as it is, putting it in there, moving on. So that's slicing and oxidizing is too good of a name to just sit on it. Sorry, I'm just so happy with this name. Half of this work was Hans, so shoutouts to Hans, by the way. I do want to say, Kendra, I'm really proud of you. I know you had a hellish month, and I'm happy that things are finally quiet down for you. I hope that you have a lovely time today at your event, where you're a waiter or whatever we established earlier in the narrative. So, we have a crushing move, a sharp move. I need a mediocre fire move. Something like Kindle Smash. Me when I'm done reading a bad book I downloaded from Amazon. No, you know what? Actually, we go over here. Cinder's not bad. I want Enkindle as like the weakest freaking move possible. This is a sense move. It is chemical. It is an attack. The target is 1. The range is literally M to 1. Very nice range attack. Kate says me when I finish Fabulous Gaze 2 and Fabulous Gaze 3 isn't out yet. Oh no, it's me. I'm being got. Whatever happened to Kindle tablets? It's still making them. It is attack plus sense. And it is a chemical move. This is I'm thinking of a very simple. You just shoot a flame. You shoot a flame in Kindle. You shoot a little flame at range. 10 damage. What? Just 20 damage to one single target? Is that literally it? I feel like the difference between, because Fire Spout hits everyone, and that's kind of crazy. Perhaps I could. Would it be better if instead of doing direct damage, you know what? Here we go. Okay. All targets, ally and foe, gain hurt 1. There we go. Hans says, if there's a water move called Hydrolysize, I will riot. Let me go write down ideas. Hydrolysize. Hydrolyze. Thank you. Am I gonna have to put like in the book like chemical advisor Hans? Hans DS2 is the best one. Why is that Hans's last name? I don't know. Ask Hans's parents. In Kindle. So now this is one that just targets a character at range. I feel like that's like the only way. So it is 10 damage. It is a very weak move. Would I want to energize it? Arson Department hands. Oh my god. 10 damage is the baseline. 20 damage is the baseline. You know what? Then we can make Enkindle a 20 damage. Yeah. There you go. I don't know about Enkindle as the name anymore. Perhaps... What, like... Something blast, bullet, ball... Fireball? No. Fire... Some sort of fire-based launching a little... Enkindle feels a little weak for 20 damage, I'm not gonna lie. Firebolt, etc, but not D&D, please. I realize Firebolt is a D&D thing, and I don't really get it. Spitfire, Fire Spit. Spitfire is not bad. Spitfire is not bad. I'm putting it in here for now. All right, so I need a body-based move. Burst Fire. Kitty's here. Hi, gamers. Hi, wifey. Hello, love. How you doing today? Fire Burst even. When it says, "Oh my God," Hans gets a flamin' werfer. It became true. Oh my God. Kitty says, we had a kitten. Ooh, what was the kitten's name, Kitty? If you remember. I would very much like, you know what? A very weak body move. Score, no. Something and dash. Fire charge, flaming charge, sparking charge. Fire cheese, there we go. Oh my God, excuse me? The kitten's name was Chicken Parmesan? That's an incredible name. Oh my God, that's incredible. Let's look at Pokemon for inspiration. They're literally all fire-based, huh? Fire Dash, Flame Dash, Cinder Dash. This is such a terrible name. This is a body chemical attack move. It's a target of 1, a range of melee, and it is attack plus body, and it is in fact chemical. Flame Search is a little bit too strong. Also, this move is very simple. This is literally a 10 damage move. 10 damage move, but before attacking, you must move one. You must move 1. There you go. Again, Maxi, why do you hate body moves? It's because everyone has access to them. Pocket Flames, that's right. You heard of Pocket Sand? Get ready for Pocket Flames. I should probably put Pocket, like, some sort of sand move. Ideas. Throw sand. Perhaps, you know, some sort of sand slap. I take it back to Onga and Bunga. I actually had chicken parm for the first time like 2 weeks ago. It was actually pretty good. Fire Punch, Slicing and Oxidizing. That's such a great name. Cinder Dash, Fire Spout, some sort of Fire Bolt and Burn Away. I feel like I would like... Wait, we have Sense, we have Sharp, we have Crush. Okay, I would like one more buff. I'm awake! Hi, Noms! Hey, boy!
Hey, boy.
Nomia is another member of the DK crew who gives me boy GN vibes. Nomia's vibes are very much boy GN. Kate says, I make chicken parm with Alfredo sauce. Not a fan of marinara, and it's so good. Oh my God, that sounds so tasty. Kendra says, I was watching an anatomy art lesson, and the person giving the lesson was, women have wider hips for childbirth, and men have wider shoulders for, I don't know, onga bunga, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Meanwhile, all of my wide-shouldered, narrow-hipped femmes in chat being like, Nomia says, I'ma he him like when you see a dog. It's so true. Alright, so I would like a buff for fire type. Let's go look at all of the move I... Is it this one? It is! Alright. Where did I put all of the... here's all of the... Oh, by the way, I never actually showed you all of the tags. I showed them to the members of the secret Discord. Siska says, I have white hips and white shoulders. My children will never be deprived of onga and bunga. Hell yeah. That's good, Siska. Kendra. Yeah, you know, Kendra, people really like boys with white hips, so you'll be fine. Multi-hit, combo, trapped, stun, dizzy, I'm just gonna really quickly just list, yes, this is the list of the 69 keywords that I invented, and then a bunch of leftover ones, by the way. Let's see. Smoke? Ooh, smoke might be a good thing to do. Oh. Let's do smoke 1. Let's literally have smoke. Smoke seems like a good thing to bring in. Alright, I'm just gonna copy this keyword that I already wrote before. Kind of like in a cooking show where they already have the dish prepared. So, back to 125 summon, please. Smoke ball? Smoke ball, perhaps? Blaze it? Smoke? Sinner's reference? Opens Fandango ticketing services? Oh my god. Kidding. Let's literally have a smoke. Kitty, you didn't actually add the quote. Don't worry, I got you. Siska got no. I actually think it was Dale who got quote 549. Siska said, "Is it gay to smoke weed with your friends?" It was a joke, Kitty. I added the quote, Kitty. Dale's fortune. Oh my god. Dale's fortune is quote 1022. You got goon power. Cinema. Smoke ball. A smoke ball, by the way, is a it is a chem support move. Yeah, thank you. Oh, poor Hans. Did your message get swallowed up? Hence, you have to censor the homogeneous. Me looking at my DNA. Homogeneous. So many good Siska quotes, by the way. Hang on, you're not Hadman. You're a hadless rodent. So smoke ball, by the way, it targets a zone, by the way. No, it targets the self, actually. It targets the self. It is, the range doesn't matter because it's literally freaking the self. The roll doesn't matter, and it is in fact a chemical move. Kitty really did get quote 29. I love my wife's bits. Wow, whoops, I guess now this move does literally have a smoke by M. Kirin. I was really hoping you would just copy this way. There we go. User gains. You know what? This seems like a pretty powerful move. Gains, I think if you're spending your whole turn using this, it should be consistent. But I want to make it. I want to make it. I want to make it 1d4. I want to make it 1d4. But 4 turns of not being able to be hit by moves originating from your zone is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to not be able to be hit by melee attacks essentially for 4 turns. Perhaps make it a flipping thing. You know what? There you go. Flip 2 coins. For each head, gain smoke 1. Siska says, debating between writing, drawing, or Sister Frida. Either way, it's a grind. Smoke 1 means, by the way, as long you cannot be targeted by moves originating in the zone you are in. You literally just smoke ball. Hans says Sister Frida is awesome, and Siska just... Hans, I swear to God. STG, Siska was not saying Hans, I Sergeant. No, it's I swear to God. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moves for chemical reaction. That seems good enough for me. We have kind of hit all of the main points. Do I have enough time for some? We have 15 minutes. I can make a couple more moves. I'm kind of like in the flow. Get into the groove, boy. You've got to prove your love to me. Yeah. Get up on your feet. All right. So the identity of both moves, by the way, is the main trait of both moves, by the way, is that they often allow the user to move before or after attacking. I know you're thinking, Maxi, that's what Cinder Dash did. Yes, but the effect was very minimal. The second ability of both moves is that they often give you a free self buff, usually of lower quality, but hey, it's free. And the last thing that Bolt does is that Bolt is able to apply zone-wide negative effects on their foes. Essentially, like weather effects that affect the zone, static, storm, whatever, you get it. Alright, so let me zoom in real quick. So I'm thinking, quite simply, by the way, Bolt is a combination of like flying, wind, and electric type move. So that's kind of the vibes we're going for, by the way. Let me just color you yellow so we have a vibe. You know, it's all about the vibes over here. Okay, so we need a body move, a slash move, a crush move, a couple sense moves. Static shock. Yeah, Kate is calling Siska out, by the way. Kate says, I love seeing Siska open a billion different fantasy games on Steam. Yeah, I love having Steam open and then I see like Siska is now playing Dark Souls. Siska is now playing Sekiro. Bloodborne card is still a thing. It goes by a different name now. So let's go with Static Shock. Static shock to me seems like a very rare, like a melee. You know what? No, a Static Shock is absolutely a body move. A bolt move where the Zetamon just rubs their hands on the carpet and pokes the opponent. That's Static Shock right there. Thank you, Nomia. This is gonna be this is a body bolt attack. The target is 1. The range is melee. It is attack plus body, and it is in fact a bolt move. I legitimately feel it's a little bit too crazy for this move to like apply something like paralysis. That's a little bit too crazy. I know you're thinking, Maxi, Nuzzle is right there, Maxi. Yeah, but no. By the way, I know that the timer went off. In fact, I'm turning off the timer because we have 30 minutes left before we start doing dailies. So I'm gonna push through the next 13 minutes. Kitty says that they like Nuzzle. Would you like Static Shock to be Nuzzle, Kitty? I guess it could put. So the status effect that I created to kind of simulate something like paralysis but doesn't suck, it's drowsy. We could rename it. It could be stun. I'm half joking, but if you want. My only issue is that like I'm more concerned about like the moves. So this is clearly a 10 damage move. It's a body move and it kind of sucks, and it has a system shock. Thank you. A possibly good effect. Let me close the timer, by the way. Dude, sometimes I feel like I could do these streams for like 5 hours straight. Now I feel like I'm finally hitting my stride, but I think it is best overall to finish when you are excited to keep going. It also can be a DLC move. I like Static Shock as a move where like you charge at the opponent with your whole body, using static energy to potentially deal extra damage to them. That to me feels like good enough, if you ask me. Is it literally just flip? I guess it could have a movement element to that. It is essentially Cinder Dash, but for Bolt. Oh, Short Circuit is actually pretty fun. I like Short Circuit as an idea. I like Short Circuit. I'm writing that down. Thank you, Hans. Honestly, like System Shock is also like a funny name. That goes in there as well. Static Shock. Electric Smooch. That's right. That's right. I'm saying that Goblino should be allowed to smooch. Goblino should be allowed to give you a little kiss and then you get stunned because of it. AC and DC? Perhaps. Let me go over to move identities. Alright, let's see. Where did I put stun? Dizzy! It is Dizzy! Okay, no, then we there's a chance of it to have Dizzy. I feel like that's perfectly fine. It's a little spicy for a starter move, but I'm kind of okay with it. So, Static Shock. Flip a coin. Ooh, you know what? You know what? I like it being a perfectly balanced effect. Flip a coin. If heads, user and target gain Dizzy 1. And I won't even bother writing the rest of it. So there is a chance that both of you gain Dizzy, and I'm okay with that. Oh my god, Hans says, is that why the band was called AC/DC? Yeah. Pokemon Dash? Dude. Alright, Nomiya Zetamon, whose ability is that they're always dizzy. Yeah, there you go. Nomiya earlier said, by the way, I saw your balloon idea, by the way. What if there's a Bolt Zetamon who holds a balloon and just rubs the balloon on its head for their attacks? There you go. Okay, so this is the weak-ass move. I need a move that uses like a sharp element, alternatively a crushing element. A sharp. I mean, like I feel like Electro Fang. You know what? Electro Fang is good enough. Electro Fang. This could be the dashing move, honestly. Yeah, let's do that. So this is a sharp balloon bonk. There you go. No, Mia. A Pokemon who has to charge their attack by rubbing their feet on the carpet. You're all so silly. Wait, you know what? Actually, you know what? I have an idea. You just gave me an idea. A move where you release charge. A move where you generate charge and then that charge increases your power. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so I'm thinking, what would you call that move like that? I'm thinking perhaps. I mean, it could be Electrofang. It could be Electrofang. Flying Zetamon should be immune to these attacks, perhaps. I mean, okay, so I want to say that one of the design elements for this game is that I'm not doing resistances. I'm just doing that, like, instead of like negating damage or resisting all damage, is you just don't take bonus damage. That's just to reduce the amount of like math in the game. Chad memeing, Maxi, hold up though. Chad, you're cooking. Chad is always cooking. This is sharp. This is bolt. This is attack. The target is 1. The range is melee. It is attack plus sharp, and it is a bolt move. Nomiya, shut the fuck up, Nomiya. I swear to God. Nomiya has this whole thing about how Nomiya doesn't believe birds have ever been hit by lightning, and I'm just like, Nomiya, don't do this, Nomiya. You know, and Nomiya's like, it's all a conspiracy. Everyone's against me. Electrofang. You know what? Hear me out. Electrofang. Maybe another name for Electrofang, I'm not sure. It deals 10 damage, but every time you do it, it gets more powerful. Maybe Search Fang? Search Fang? Lightning is an exception to the rule. Search Fan, Electrofang. We'll get there. We'll get there. Slash search. Out search. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the short circuit. What do you call it? Maxi, are you gonna ask what do you call it when someone sticks a knife into an outlet? Perhaps. Maxi, you know what that is? It's called a tragedy, Maxi. Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks is actually not bad. Surging Fang. Anyways. So it deals 10 damage. And then, let's go with... Oh, we could create like a family name, actually. A family name? Perhaps a family name? Let's go with just Electro. And gain Electro. No, 10 damage. And then afterwards, gain Electro. Electro 1. Moves with Electro in their name. Deal 10 extra DMG per X. It's all about family. Family. Anyways, that's a joke for nobody. Electro Swing. Damn it, Cade. Alright, so that's body, that's sharp. We need a crush move. I very much like the idea of a jump, an attack where you jump, a leap perhaps, you jump into a zone. Because bolt moves are all about freedom. Bounce, jump, balloon bonk, balloon bonk. Nomiya really wants that bonk to happen, huh? Hey, Pokemon. What are all the electric moves in Gen 1? Oh my god, it's nothing. Shock, Wave, Bolt? I guess we could call it a Bolt. Bolt Dive. Let's just call you Volt Dive for now. This is, in fact, by the way, grounded. This is a Crush. Bolt attack move. Bolt Dash? I'm thinking of dive for a reason. And I'll get to you once I write the description. This move has a target of 1. A range of 1 to 3? 1 to 2. 1 to 3. Let's make it a really wide range one. It is attack plus crush. And it is bolt. And the way that it works is that this will deal 20 damage. 20 damage. This is just a really good move, by the way. 20 damage. But before attacking, user can move I think. Oh no. So sorry. It should be a melee move. It's a melee move, but before you can move 1 to 2 zones away, ignoring any movement negative effects. There you go. Perhaps, I guess, the way that I would do... No, I guess this is fine. I don't have to make a counter for this. And there you go. You literally, like, you jump into the air and come crashing down, and that prevents you from having to worry about status effects that limit your movement, and done. Body, Sharp, and Crush. That's done. I would like a couple of range moves. Clearly, there should be some sort of wind move. A wind and rain move. This is a lot of electricity happening here right now. Katie says, Maxi playing House Flipper. I don't need to make a counter for this. That joke is so specifically Kitty, by the way. That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, so I need ideas about... Well, let's look at flying type moves. What are the flying type moves in Generation 1? Drill, Peck, Fly, Gust, Mirror Move, Peck, Sky Attack, Wing Attack. Perhaps a move that pushes enemies away. A little bit of damage and pushes enemies away. I'm kind of okay with that. So, Wind something. Wind Blast? Wind Blast? It's called Wind Buffet? I don't know. That's buffet. I don't know how you spell buffet, as in like getting buffeted by the air. Perhaps is this? I don't know. Gust? Wind Gust? I guess it's just Gust, huh? Okay, no. I don't want to have names that are too similar to the names in Pokemon, because people are going to be like, oh, I know what Gust does. Gust just does little damage. And I'm like, no, it's different here. We will get there, okay? This is, by the way... Oh, it's in Pokemon? Oh, that's like... Yeah, Gust is literally right here. Yep. Since Gen 1, baby! It's the only special attacking flying move in Generation 1. Call it Gale. Me getting down from the ladder... where I update Dace and Siska made a Baldur's Gate 3 reference, thinking that I won't have to update the number today. Shit! Damn it. Siska says, when it doesn't land, specify that your Zetamon says sorry, I'm usually better at this. You could call the move blowjob. I love 6 in the morning Nomiya, because Nomiya usually has no filter. This is Sense, this is a belt, and this is in fact an attack. The target is... It is literally all in melee. And it is attack plus sense. Oh, I forgot about what the target is. I'll fix that later, okay? This attack definitely targets defense, by the way, and it is a bolt move. It deals no damage. Maybe it deals a little bit of damage. 10 damage to everyone, and all targets are pushed. All targets are pushed to... are pushed one zone away to the same zone. Maxi, come up with a better way to phrase this, please. There we go. Han says, Nomiya said, I never have a filter, but 6 a.m. Nomiya is head empty. Han says, what's the difference to daytime Nomiya then? Got him. Hans is like, I'll mute myself. No, someone give Hans a medal for that. That's good. If you make Nomiya say wow, that means you won, by the way. Okay, so clearly we need like a lightning bolt move. Is it just lightning bolt? Is it just lightning bolt? Lightning bolt. Why is no one on my side? I'm always on your side. I'm actually, in fact, so much on your side always that I have to, in order to not seem biased, I have to like let some jokes in. Also, no, man, you do kind of open yourself up to that by having jokes such as blowjob. Like I feel like you're setting a precedent here. You know, like that everything goes. This is a sense bolt attack, by the way. It is target 1, that is 1 to 2 zones away. It's attack plus sense, and it targets evasion. You gotta evade that, and it is in fact a bolt attack. Now honestly, legitimately, this is 20 damage with no effect. Done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I do realize that so far, I haven't had a move that has a buff to it. I'm changing Static Shock, honestly. I'm changing Static Shock. I'm gonna make it a move that generates Electro instead, perhaps. Sense and Bolt ability stack. Kidding. Wait, what do you mean by that, Kitty? Sense and Bolt ability stack, perhaps? Huh? Attack. Go on. My wife can't read. Oh, sense and bolt ability attack. Thank you. Yeah. You're right. Nomiya says, what if there's a buff that generates static electricity and makes up attack moves hurt the opponent? I like that. I know. You know what? No, I want to call it System Shock so bad. Static. Static shield. We'll come up with something later. Okay. This is a self-buffing move. This is a bolt support move. The target is 1. And it's M to 1. You can also put it on an ally. It's attack. It's literally, there's no roll to this now that I think about it. There's no roll to this. And target gains. Again, we can figure out the names later, okay? Target gains static X. We'll figure out the number later. Static X. When a user with static is hit with a with a M range move, the attacker takes 10 damage for you know what? We transfer this. We transfer the static to the enemy. The attacker gains 1 recoil for each static. Recoil makes it takes damage at the end of your turn. It kind of stacks with hurt. Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe we just make it hurt, honestly. Gains 1 hurt for each static. There you go. It doesn't immediately make them take damage, but then from there on, they'll be taking more damage every single turn. I kind of like that. I feel like that kind of works, actually. Static shield is kind of cute. I would like one more thing before we call it a day, although we're kind of almost out of time. Let me look at my move identities and see if there's anything here that I would like to... A free buff would be good. You know what? We need a move that affects everyone in the same zone, actually. Let's see. I'm looking through all the notes that I wrote. Ah, deafened. Perfect. Deafened is perfect. Deafened means so that the Zetamon cannot benefit from energizing. I like that. I like that. Thunderclap. Thunderclap. This is a Bolt Sense support move. Charging makes your sight stronger, perchance. This is a target all or target zone in melee. Blah blah blah. Is Maxi skipping for anyone else or just my bad Wi-Fi? It might just be you, my love. Everything looks good on my end. Stream health is excellent since literally 11 a.m. this morning. So sorry, love. Thunderclap. All targets within zone gain deafened 1. User cannot become energized or be the target of player moves. There you go. Perhaps it should be like one zone away, so you have to move in order to use Thunderclap. And that's it. We have done a third of the work for all the moves that will be available in the combat beta. Here's hoping these are enough moves. It's really hard as a game designer to know when enough is enough, but looking at Pokemon and realizing that Generation 1 had 7 flying type moves, 5 of which were physical, 1 was special, and 1 was a status move. I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Especially because this game also is gonna have a multiplayer aspect to it. You will be able to fight against fellow players with your Zetamon if you wish to partake in that. I feel like for the competitive scene of Zetamon, oh my god, just to think about that. The competitive scene for Zetamon, I assume, as with the competitive scene in any video game, players are gonna find the line of least resistance and just use that. Nomiya says they were all physical in Generation 1. Yes, but some of them Gust became special later on, Nomiya Victory. I love you, Nomiya. Anyways, fellas, I know, says Nomiya Victory. I know, yeah. You said the wrong thing on purpose to make a point. I get it. Dear friends, we're gonna jump into dailies. I do want to let you know that that in 20 minutes, my good friend Ronnie streaming today. Twitch.tv/Moontones. Is Ronnie streaming today? Ronnie is, in fact, schedule. Ronnie is streaming Rosewater later today in literally 20 minutes. Please keep an eye out for that. I am looking forward to taking you there once we're done with the stream. You know who else is streaming today? Who? I'm kidding. Nomiya Victory is also streaming later today. Nomiya is doing a members only stream. Let me hit you with Moontones and Nomiya. Please check out my friends. They're streaming later today. But now, before anything else, let us do dailies. Welcome to Dailies, the segment of the stream where we play games we can only play today. We begin first with Quirtle, a game about doing 4 Wordles at once because it's the only way I can feel anything. We always open with Rogue and Satin and then Blimp. And that gives us the keys to the kingdom. We have ROALP. Polar is the first word, by the way. Bingo! What else do we have? PAGE. And it ends... Clearly, it must be... Although... No. Guape? Clearly it ends in, well, it ends in PE or GE. And the A is here. A gape? Hell yeah! Bingo! Alright. What else? We have S, T, and E. And the T does not go there. Van der Waals, economy in shambles. Oh my god. R-A-N-E. R-A-N-E. And we know it's A, and then it's an N over here. The E can't possibly go there. So how the hell do we have an N at the end? Steak? No, there's no A. We already scouted the A before. Thank you, though. Steak. No, that's wrong. No, oh, yeah. Up here, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 out of the 5 letters. Okay, so if it's S... Stint? No. Stench? No. Steen? It is not Steen. Snend? See you later, Kendra. Have a lovely rest of your day. Let us know how the event goes. Love ya. Love you, boy.
Hey, boy.
Stern? There's no R. There's no R. We always cut the R. Stefan? No. Then it must be S-N-E. S-N-E-T. S-N-T. Snetty? Sneet? Nomia says all I can think of is S-N-E-T, which is nothing. It is kind of nothing, huh? Snetty? Alright, what about down here? Let's move our attention over to this side of the board, by the way. Steed? Damn it, it's... No, it can't be Steed. We're missing an, where does the N go? I know where the D goes. A-N-R-E. Perhaps it's another instance of an E really early on. It's not R-N. L-N? No, the L is already sent? It wasn't! Yo, good job, Nomia. And Kitty asks, hey, Maxi, where does the D go? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. Who knows? We have 2 guesses to get the last word. We have an A and an N at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 out of the 5 letters. Perhaps it's some sort of a R consonant combo, like FR. It must be FR at this point. Freyan? No. God, is that a word? Is that a word that is just AN at the end? It's such a weird combo, though. I'm really getting thrown off by the fact that the N is the last letter. Unless, what, is it a double N? That's so weird, though. Yearn. Hot damn! Points to Hans today! Hot damn. Good job, Hans. Welcome to Guess the Game, where we guess the game by guessing the game. This is the developer for this game. It's a Metroidvania. The developer for this game made a sequel for this game because he needed to raise money for his child's surgery. What is it called? This is a Metroidvania. Maybe it's not that. This looks like it's purposefully trying to be 16-bit style. You know what? Hit me with one skip. This is 100% a Metroidvania. Just this look tells you this is a Metroidvania. Unless is it a boy and his blob? Axiom Verge! It is Axiom Verge, thank you. Again, I knew what game this was. The developer for this made the sequel because he basically got cheated out of the money that the first game made. He made the sequel to pay for his child's surgery. I remember that. And it's also a Metroidvania. You know, like a Metroidvania. Anyways, feel free to bonk me for that. You know what? I'll bonk myself. Welcome to Pokedoku, where we do Sudoku backwards on its Pokemon. Our categories today are Steel, Dragon, Rock, Kalos, Mega Evolved, and Middle Evolution. So I think we should begin with the most general one, namely Kalos, which is France. A Steel France Pokemon, that's the sword one. That is Etch. Honech, you are Steel, and from the French region. There you go. Dragons in France, it's more likely than you think. What the hell is a dragon? What was the dragon in Kalos? What was the dragon in Kalos? Oh, Dragalge! Dragalge. Yeah! Also Gumi. And a rock from Kalos, that's my girl, Amara. There we go. Mega Evolved, Hans said Mega Metagross, but have you considered, perchance, have you considered, Mega Mobile? Now, Mega Evolved Dragon, that's Sceptile, baby. Mega Sceptile is Dragon type. The only grass dragon, if I am correct. No, that's not true. That was actually, Mega... No. Alolan Executor is now Dragon Grass now. Mega Luke. In a Mega Evolved Dragon, this is literally anyone. Aerodactyl, by the way. Mega Aerodactyl, who just gets a little beard to go with his face. Maxi, these are all Megas from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Yep, the best game. My good friend Lucario. How dare you, Nomia? How dare you? How dare you? That got me real bad. Mega Lucario. Middle Evolution. Magneton. Perhaps. Is there another one that comes to mind? A Middle Mega. I mean, isn't it Honech? No. The other one. No. A Middle Evolution that's Steel type. Dublade, thank you. I'll take that. A Middle Evolution Dragon type. It's the Excalibur guy. No, it's the middle Excalibur one. I don't want you, I want the middle one. Yo, hi Jada. Hello, we're doing dailies. A Middle Evolution I mean, I guess Dragonair is so like plain and boring. I don't want to do Dragonair. I'm thinking, is Sliggoo? I'll take Sliggoo. I took way too long to decide, so Sliggoo it is. In a Middle Evolution Rock type, not Graveler. I want the evolution to Roggenrola. Roggenrola's Middle Evolution is called... what's Roggenrola's Middle Evolution? Oh, I love Roggenrola. It's Gigalith is the last one. No one remembers the middle one, man. No one remembers the middle guys. Boldor, thank you. Nomia, you're on fire today, by the way. Wow, look at that. Look at this. How many Dragon Grass are there? Oh, it wanted to actually show me. That's fair. There's quite a few middle... Vibrava counts? I thought Vibrava wasn't Dragon type. Huh? Vibrava counts? I thought Vibrava wasn't Dragon type. I thought only Flygon became Dragon type. Nomi has a fun stream later this week, by the way. You should check it out. Welcome to GameDole.wtf, where we GameDole and we go WTF. Can I guess a game by looking at the cover? This is Streets of Rage. Let's go with... No, it's... Well, that has the guy who becomes president, so it must be 2. No? Wait. Final Fury. No, it's Fear. It's Fatal Fury 2? No? Who are you? Streets of Rage. That's a gay man. He is a gay man. Hi, Siska. Welcome back. It's not Streets of Rage. Oh my god. You are no. This is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And you play as this big homosexual man who becomes president. Give me one skip. I need more than you guys, okay? It's not Streets of Rage, it's not Fatal Fury. What is it, Art of Fighting? If it's Art of Fighting, I don't want to be correct. Give me one more skip. I'm really failing you guys today. It's Final Fight! Damn it! It's Final Fight. Final Fight 2 because he's not unlocked in the first one. There we go. There we go. Again, I knew what I was talking about, by the way. There we go. Can I guess the game by looking at the artwork? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? What is this, Temple Run? Okay. Wow, a game that I have never played. You know, maybe you shouldn't be maybe you shouldn't be trespassing the ancient temples of indigenous people, you jackass. Can I guess a game by looking at the keywords? The keywords are factory, short, hiding, and sequel. This is Little Nightmares 2. Lantern Journal, Stealth, and Darkness. It's a short game about a factory where you hide in a there's a journal involved. I'm playing on 144p, aka extra difficulty. You think it's Limbo? Did Limbo have a factory level? I don't think so. Sacrifice, Victorian Hallucination, audio logs. Darkness, Stealth, Journal, Lantern. I already tried Little Nightmares too. Hallucination. It's a machine for pigs. It's a machine for pigs. Okay. Today's point goes to Ronnie. Bingo! It was Amnesia. Good call, Ronnie. Can I guess the game by guessing the game by guessing the game? As always, my 140p wife, I am opening with Nier Replicant. It's a game after 2010. It is not a role-playing game or a hack and slash beat 'em up or on the PS3. So we are effed up. No, it says me when I'm a pig and I am gifted a machine for pigs. I don't think it's fan. It's probably an open world game. An open world game where you don't hack and slash. Perhaps an open world shooter. Perhaps an open world Ubisoft game. Perhaps Assassin's Creed. What is the new one? Shadows. It is a 2025 game. It's not Ubisoft. It's a role-playing game? Really? Subnautica? No, this is 2025 now. What, you think it's Doom Medieval or whatever? It's not even on here. Okay. Kitty says, I love how my wife and I are on the same page despite being a mile away. It's true. Whoa, Kitty, don't dox me. If it came out last year, I don't know. Unless it's Blueprints. Okay, a game from this year. An open world stealth game from this year. Actually, says Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie, hit me. You've been hit by, you've been struck by. It is also not a single player game. It might be. Ronnie really is keeping me on the edge of my seat. You know, you pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. A multiplayer 20 repo? Oh, gross.
This is why I don't respect streamers.
Fellas, thank you for joining me today. Let's get out of this. It's actually kind of cute. I heard terrible things about it, so. A week of JRPGs. This is Star Tropics. No, it's Crystallis. It's Crystallis. Okay. The cover looked like Star Tropics, by the way. So this is games, JRPG, Japanese role-playing games. Can I guess all of them? This is Dragon Quest 1. Sorry, Dragon Warrior. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I must be the stupidest person in the whole world. There you go. Me, whenever I'm like, my art is bad, look at this, though. You know what? Your art can come a long way. Oh, it's Wukong. It's Wukong. How do you spell Wukong? Oh, how do you spell your name, brother? Oh, it's Wulong Fallen Dynasty. There we go. This is Chrono Cross. Nomiya, don't look. There's spoilers on this cover. There are not. This is a joke. Nothing that happens in this cover is meaningful to you at all. It was Wulong. This is... Oh, God. Eston. This is probably Stone Cold Steve Austin Farming Adventures. Oh, Friends of Mineral Town. Back to Nature. Forgive me. Estes Flask. This is Wild Arms 4. Wow. This is Wild Arms. This is it's Trails. This is the new one. Let's go with To Azure. There you go. This is the one no one thought they would ever translate because it's like 100 million hours long. This is Digimon World 3. You think I wouldn't recognize Digimon World 3 with Bearmon in the front of it? You think I'm stupid? His name says Bears on it. This is Etrian Odyssey. Etrian Odyssey. This is probably... This is absolutely beyond the myth. This is Nexus. This is Etrian Odyssey. Heroes of Lagarde. There we go. This is Paper Mario Sticker Star. This is Paper Mario. This is Super Paper Mario. Oh god, there's 101 JRPGs. This is Fire Emblem, by the way. This is just Fire Emblem. This is just Fire Emblem. This is the Fire Emblem, the Blazing Blade. There we go. Excuse me, just as Fire Emblem, Your Honor. Take care, kitty. Have a lovely rest of your day. Actually, you know what? I realized it's 2 p.m., baby. Ronnie is streaming now. So I think you should stop watching my stream and you should head over to Ronnie's stream over at twitch.tv/moontomes. Let's get Mindflutter for a second, okay?
Is that a thing? It is now.
Ronnie's so cute. Ronnie doesn't even know that I'm here.
How's everyone doing?
All right. Fellas, please consider checking out Ronnie and Nomiya streaming later today, doing a members-only stream. Please consider checking out my friends. I love them all. Let me hit you one more time with a exclamation mark Moontones, exclamation mark Nomiya, and please don't forget that when this VOD goes up, you should leave a 5-star review as a comment to be silly and funny and being a silly little guy. So please do that for me. I'll be developing Zetamon in the background and get ready because the combat beta will be dropping Switch voice later this month. Bye-bye. Take care. Beep boop. I messed it up. It's fine, okay? See you all tomorrow on Nomiya's stream. Bye.
This is why I don't respect streamers.